Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Georgina. Okay, my name is Vida Davasima Anaba, as you might have seen on the flyer, and I'm the Women's Commissioner for the National Service Personnel Association, Obuasi Municipal. And as part of what we do as NASPA, we aim at empowering our colleague national service personnel so that they will be ready for the job market after national service. And I know and we believe that this particular program is one of the key things that all of us will need in order to drive very well in this economy. And so NASPA, your association, decided to have this seminar, or let's say webinar, so that we can all equip ourselves with what we need to know as national service personnel and even prepare ourselves for work after national service. So before we invite our speaker to start, I would like to go over some key etiquettes we need to observe on this platform so that we will have a distraction-free program or meeting. First of all, we are all muted upon entry. So when you join, you make sure that your microphone is kept muted. And as we progress, if we get to a point where we need interaction, that will be the questions and answer section. We will invite you to talk. In that case, you can raise your hand. Then we will ask you to give a contribution or whatever questions you need to ask. Again, the chat box is also there as the presentation goes on. If you feel like you have a question you need to put across, in order for you not to forget, you can type your question in the chat box so that after the presentation, we can read it and then for the speaker to address it. If you can also wait, that is fine. There will be a section for question and answers so that you'll be invited to bring your contributions and then your answers. And as I already said, if you need to make any contribution or talk during that session, you when you go to chats, you will see some emojis there and you find raise your hand. You can tap on that emoji. It will show on your profile that your hand is raised. Then we'll invite you to bring your questions. So before we call on our speaker, we have our other NASPA executives. We have our president, who is in the person of Ben Ephraim. Let's see, we have our general secretary, who is in the person of Benedict. And then we also have I think those are the two I've seen so far. The others will be joining us, and as they join us, we'll introduce all of them to you all. So, I've also posted a brief information about our speaker in the chat box. It is pinned over there, so you can read it. But let me say these few things about our speaker so that we can give him the floor to continue. Our speaker is in the person of Listowel Owusu. He's an IT specialist, data analyst, and the CEO of Delofy Technologies, an organization recognized for its technology-driven solutions. Currently, a research and policy analyst at the Ministry of Works and Housing, and a former research assistant. Listowel seamlessly combines his technical expertise in web development, project management, and automated digital systems with a strong background in behavior science and IT. He holds a graduate certificate information, including educated scholarships. He holds a graduate certificate in information security analytics and BSc in clinical psychology, and actively manages various digital platforms, including educational scholarship hubs, Delofy, generational thinkers, etc. Deeply committed to social impact and youth development, Listowel previously founded the Community Connect initiative in Kumasi, a project that successfully reached and helped over 1,500 individuals during his own national service. So, Mr. Owusu, your audience, our speaker, the floor is yours, Mr. Owusu.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Just like, thank you, Ms. Vida. Just like Ms. Vida said, I'm a research and policy analyst at the Ministry of Work and Housing, Kumasi. I'm at the regional head. This is possible, so we will need to thank our president, the HE Ben Ephraim, and then all the executive, NSS executive for today's section. So, not 2 weeks' time, I think you already have seen or hear enough from me, from Mr. Vida. He has actually told the story in the chat board. You could read from there. So I will share my chat and then we will start from there. So I'm going to share my screen with all of you so that we can start projecting our work. Sure. I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Great. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone and congratulations on, navigating your NSS here. I know firsthand the transition from the classroom to the corporate sector here in Ghana can feel amazed. We are going to crack the code that every single one of you will use after your national service, which is the CV and a resume, which you all need to understand. So that's my information there. I'm the CEO of Delofy Technologies and a research analyst at the Ministry of Work and Housing. My email and my phone number is there. If you need to contact me, I would share the slides later in the chat so you all can have access to it. All right, so we start with the very first discussion. CV and a resume. In Ghana, most times we confuse ourselves with CV and a resume. Most people, most employers or most organizations in Ghana, when they ask for a CV, simply they are asking for a resume. CV can contain your whole life, whatever you've done in your entire life. You're a sales assistant and a manager, you did psychology, you did IT, you have a PhD in this, that. They are supposed to be in your CV, but your resume is different. Your resume should be taught to the specific job that you are looking for. So it takes me right back to the question, the difference between a CV and then a resume. So here are the difference. So a resume, in French word means summary. It shouldn't be one. It should be 1 to 2 pages. It shouldn't be more than one, or it shouldn't be 2, 3 or 4 pages. The typical ideal pages or long pages for a resume should be 1 or 2 pages. And then for CV, you can you can go as long as 10 pages. It depends. It depends on what you've done in your life, and what you want to showcase to people out there. I hope you get me.
Essay.
Yes. And a resume should be taught to the job specific that you are applying for. So let's say an example is when you create your CV, a CV is your entire life, whatever you've done. So maybe you had let's say a bachelor's degree in information technology, and then you have your graduate certificate in maybe human resources management, and then you have your PhD, or let's say your master's degree in maybe another human resource management or whatever it is. But if you're applying for a job, you don't have to list all those certification and experience. That does not qualify you for that particular job you're applying. You should be specific. Assuming I'm applying for a customer support role in maybe, I don't know, Ashanti Good, maybe a familiar job that you could be able to address, maybe Ashanti Good. Yes, and then you don't have to list all non-relevant programs or non-relevant information on there. It should be the maximum, it should be 1 or 2 pages. Please, if you are confused, you can let me know. And if I'm talking too fast too, you can let me know.
Too fast you are, but to me it's clear. I don't know about others.
Please, is anyone here confused if I'm talking too fast? Hello, it's someone here aside Vida, our host.
Yeah,
Yeah, doing good, doing good.
Am I going too fast or you think I should slow it down?
It's okay by me.
All right. I think that's our president, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yes, that is the two major differences between a CV and a resume. And then the next question I had on my determination is what does a CV or resume use in determine? I mean, when you apply for a job or when you intend to apply for a job after your NSS, what is the CV or the resume used for? Why do they even require that resume or the CV? First, they want to assess your skills. Just like I've written it today, I'll share my, what do they call it? My flyer after this section. But the first, they want to see the skills, whether you qualify, the skills you possess, whether you qualify for the job you are applying for. So assuming you are applying for a job like an IT department, or you're applying for a head of HR or maybe a sales personnel. Let me use a sales personnel as an example, and then you put in a qualification that you can manage, health required resources and other stuff, which is not recommended for that job. Probably your CV is going to be denied. And then if your CV is going to be denied, you are not going to get interviewed. They are also going to look at your knowledge, the knowledge you have. So it is best possible that whenever you're applying for a job after your national service or during your national service, whichever possible or whichever you would prefer to do, you should know the knowledge. I mean, the knowledge of the job you're applying. I mean, these days, most people do not apply job through the internet. It is word of mouth. And a friend, oh, I have this job, I know this job, they advertise this job, and then they will tell you, and then you try to submit your CV or other things. You need to research more about the particular role you are applying for. You should know what they require from you. Don't submit a generic CV to them. It's going to be tossed out. Except, Ghana with you are going to look for connection and other stuff. But aside that, if you are looking for a real genuine way, you should have a little knowledge about whatever you are applying for. So they look at it, in your CV. They also look at your qualification. Yeah, one major mismatch is that assuming I'm applying for a role in Ashanti Gold as maybe a minor, and then I did clinical psychology. And I maybe after doing a clinical psychology, I also had another degree or maybe a certificate, whatever in mining, and I refused to put the mining certificate on there, and I just put either my bachelor's degree in psychology there. It is going to be tossed out the very first time because my qualification does not match the job. I hope you all get it right. My qualification, it doesn't really match
Yes,
the
and I
mod
mean,
the job description. So you should make sure that you know the job you're applying for. Just simply don't submit a generic CV. Every CV needs to be taught to the particular job you're applying. And then I also know people who create one CV for every job. That is very bad. I mean, very, very bad. One CV for every job. That is generic. You need to create every CV for every particular job you intend to apply. I hope you are getting me. And then also your experience. Those are where you could identify or write in the experience you've done through your course of life, whether you were a sales personal assistant or you were a research analyst, you were an assistant, you were a banker, whatever it is you are doing, you need to write it there. But that should also be taught to the particular job you are creating. So just like I said earlier, you should have your one entire life CV, which is like a bulky CV containing maybe 5 to 10 pages of whatever you are doing. And then you should, so in that 10 to 11 pages, you could take in 1 or 2 pages to tour the job particular you are applying for currently. I hope you get me. So it has to match the description, just like I said earlier. And then every job that you apply also have their own description. So you should make sure that your CV or your resume that you are building to apply for that job has that description. I mean, if you're applying for a job in the embassy, they could particularly ask for somebody who is intelligent, somebody with a good speaking or language speaking, some people with maybe French, other languages and other stuff. So you could make sure that your CV has all those things. And then don't lie on your CV. I know most Ghanaians rely on CV. We did this, but actually we didn't do anything like that. We should, because in the end, maybe you could get a job, but when the time starts, and then they could say, okay, you said you could speak French in your CV, and now you cannot speak it. It feels like you lie. You understand? I hope you all get me.
Yes, we do.
All right, so um, whether I'll introduce the ATF system, which is the applicant tracking system. So these are digital tools. They are just like the AI tools we use these days. These days everybody use AI. I don't know. You're all writing with AI, you are serving a work with AI and other stuff. They also have an AI tool called ATS, which is the Applicant Tracking System. It is a digital gateway of modern recruitment. So they rank and then they sort your CV before even the human resources or the HR sees it. So the tracking system has a mandatory requirement. If your CV or your resume doesn't match those of the ATS, which is the Applicant Tracking System, it is going to be tossed out before even the HR manager just to say it. I don't know, but here in Ghana, most companies don't use it, but it doesn't mean it's not going to get there. I mean, just like we are saying, we are a developing country. Everybody is going through the digital way. So before it even get there, we should know how it will affect us. So when it's implemented in most companies here in Ghana, we can know, okay, fine, this I know about this. This is how I should do my CV so that my application is not tossed out. Yes. So if you make your CV an ATS friendly, if you make your CV an ATS friendly, you are going to definitely get invited to a job interview. Most instance, when a job interview is required, yes, we can go through that. So with that, how do we? The next question is how do we make our CV or a resume ATF friendly, or how do we write the ATF formatting so that our CV or resume doesn't get tossed out in the applicant tracking process. So here are the still the ATS applicant tracking system. They format or they read your CV from the left to right. It means you should avoid pictures. I don't know. Most people use pictures in their CV. They use progression bars and other stuff. Those artificial intelligence trackers. They don't understand those things. They don't know it. I mean, they are implemented just to read, understand what you wrote. But if you put in your picture on your CV, it won't understand that. It will mark that place as null and void, which is it's when you get below the standard marks of 50 or 40, your CV is going to toss out. I mean, human could not even see it to assess whether you did really qualify to be invited for an interview or for the job. But because the ATF has already disqualified your CV, the person isn't going to waste his time to just view your CV anymore. So you have to make your CV in such a way that the ATS would, I mean, accept your CV and then progress to the next level. So it read from left to right, and then it's also displaying information which is readable and other stuff. And then you should also avoid progress bar. Progress bar. Sometimes people CV they add they bring this is it graphical bar. It feels like it is reading, and then they bring like 60% out of 100. It feels like they are going on, but these ATS machine cannot read these projects. If you want to tell the employer that then you did a 60% job here and there, you should just write 60% of whatever you did. 60% of what this or 100% of this. Just don't just show graphic and those kind. The ATF will toss your application out of the system before the human eye even ever sees it or the HR manager sees it. And again, one most important thing is also make sure your CV. I mean, if you are not presenting your CV in a paper form and you are presenting in paperless form, don't don't save it in any format. PDF is recommended. And then most people to with their PDF kind of CV, they make it unreadable. I mean, you cannot copy, you cannot edit. I mean, those kind of things, the ATS will not be able to verify your CV or recognize it. So you should make it be editable and also readable. And then some people also, I don't know, but some people put password on their CV and then they try to test the password to the employer. Charlie, what are you looking for? I mean, he is employing you and you're trying to tell him that your CV has a password. I mean, they should, your CV is going to be tossed out. So you should also take account of that. So we should always put your CV in PDF and then Word docs format. So the 2026 resume checklist. So because we just talked about the ATF system, we should also know about the format the ATF system wants, not anything. So it should be clear, and then the format should be either New Time Roman, Roboto, or Aria. It should be within 10 and 12 font size so that it can be flourished and people can read it. You should also list your qualification in connected order. And then ATS, just like I said earlier, the ATS cannot read images. So we need to take away images, any digital profile of whatever you want to do. I know people sometimes put QR code on their CV or resume. I believe it's okay to put it in your CV, which is your lifetime documents, which is telling about you and other stuff. But for a resume, I don't recommend that you put a QR code so that your employer could scan and then get more information about you. It's like you're giving them a tough work, and then nobody really wants to do tough work these days. I hope you all get me. All right, so just like I said earlier, the ATF projects. So as this is a survey that 75% rejection rate, it means currently 2026 CVs that are submitted, 75% of them are automatically rejected by the ATS format, which is the application tracking system, before even going through the human eye. So basically, you may be qualified for the job, but you may not land the role, and people the HR may not invite you for the job because first of all, your CV did not match the ATF tracking system, which is the applicant tracking system. So it gets tossed out before even the human eye sees. So we should make sure we sort these errors out. So these are my 7 examples to avoid on your CV. First of all, you should avoid spelling and grammatical or punctuation errors. One thing, if you are going to get a job or if you are applying for a job, whatever it is, for school, whatever you are using the CV or resume for, you should avoid errors. I mean, nobody, no. I mean, if I'm employing in my company and you submit a CV or a resume to me that has punctuation errors, grammatical errors, spelling errors, I mean, think you are not good. I mean, even a CV, you are making errors. You can make the mass. You're going to make errors in my job for me, and which I cannot understand. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want people like that in my company. So first of all, is we need to avoid any punctuation errors or grammatical errors. You can use chat. Just like I said, artificial intelligence now here is not to replace human being, but rather to make our life easier. I hope you all get me.
Yes, sir.
Great. So to make our life easier, you can use this chat GPT and that stuff, but make sure it is not generic. No, people can just write generic and CV for you. So make sure it tells about you. You can give the artificial intelligence your idea, your experience, whatever it is, and you tell him to maybe refine it in a very good grammatical way, other than to just making it write it for you. You are going to write a generic one, which the ATS would practically avoid it or toss it out and you could not see it. And also not making your CV or resume friendly, which is like not making it friendly to the ATS system, just like I just described earlier. The CV has to be readable. It has to go from left to right, left to right, left to right. No columns and no pictures, graphics, and other stuff, 60%. If you want to implement or put in, okay, I achieved 60% during my national service, 60% of sales during my national service, just write 60% of sales I achieved by implemented 60% of whatever you did. Again, not throwing the CV or resume to the particular job. Just like I said, each job should have their own CV or resume, just like I said earlier. So, we can have one giant CV which talks about the whole you. That CV, you don't send it to anyone. It's for you. It's in your room. It's in your computer, your phone, whatever it is. Whenever you find a job that you want to apply to, or any job that requires for your CV, they basically are asking for your resume. So you could just take those important tips or those in your CV that match that job description, and then you make it a 1 or 2 pages, and then you send it for that application. Now, number 4 is not using keywords from the job description. So you need to read. I mean, every job that we may apply for have a description, except those that are usually recommended by a friend. Okay, this company is hiring. I want you to send your CV there. But first, you need to find information about that company. You just don't wake up and then send your CV to that place. You get me? You have to search about whatever role you are applying for. I've seen some CV or some resume that says, "Dear hiring manager, what role ever it is available, put me there." Charlie, who does that? You get me? So we should know the particular job we are applying for in that particular role and what the job requires of you, the skills the job requires from you, the qualities, the certification and other stuff, so that you may not use maybe a counseling degree for an IT job, which probably the ATS system is going to toss out. So every particular job that we apply, we should get a CV or a resume for that particular job. We shouldn't make a generic one. I mean, this one is common in Ghana. Generic CV is very common in Ghana. We all use one particular template CV for every job that we apply. If we don't get results, so the system is hard and all stuff. Yes, I can understand the system is hard. Sometimes you can make it very simple for us, and then to avoid it. And then the next thing is underwhelming personal statement. Just before you write your name and your personal details, which is your name, probably your email, your address, and other stuff. We have where you could write your personal statement. There you have to sell yourself to the employer. You have to sell yourself to the employer. Sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't have to write more. Maybe I might not get the job. Or maybe my degree is too huge that the HR may toss it out. You need to tell them this is what you can do. Yeah, I hope you will get me. So your personal statements at the beginning of your CV should be very good and catchy. Should be very good and catchy. And then also not making your resume too long. I mean, at least 1 or 2 pages is okay. It shouldn't be more than 3 or 4 pages. Charlie, nobody wants to read that much. And then these ATS application system, they are programmed. They are programmed to, catch between the important stuff. So if you make your CV too long, 1 to 5 pages, 1 to 6 pages, the application, and the applicant tracking system may toss your CV out. Maybe, if you made it a very simple and brief, you could have been qualified for that. And then one most important thing is unprofessional email. I don't know. This one, everybody does it. My name is Listowel, just like I told you earlier. I could use my email or my CV as Listowel Owusu, maybe 0105@gmail.com. I don't know. People use their nickname. Just like you, it's on my slide, killer25@gmail.com. Assuming you are the HR, would you accept somebody who has an email as killer025@gmail.com? I hope you are getting me.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there's this two cool guy. I found a few of them online. Cool guy 14@gmail.com. What do you want to tell me? Your CV is a professional environment, so you should use either your real name or something very appropriate. Why in the world would you use killer025@gmail.com? Do you want to kill me? I mean, if I hire you, it means you're a killer. You could kill somebody in the job or, hide something. So we should avoid these mistakes like using unprofessional email. Most of us make that mistake. Some people, they have nickname like cypher@gmail.com, cypher27. Please avoid it. Use your real name. Avoid it. Simply avoid it. The anatomy of winning a CV. So just like I said, a winning CV does not win because it has a fancy graphic design. It wins because the structure is exceptional, clean, and optimized for data extraction. The ATF system, they extract the data on our CV. Looks like they extract the data. Vida, do you want to talk?
Yes, sir. Sorry for the distraction, but our dear participants, make sure your microphones are kept muted. We are receiving feedback from your background. Thank you, sir. You can continue.
So yes, so just like I was saying, a winning CV does not win because it has a fancy graphic, just like the example that I placed in my slides. It has pictures. This is very nice and other stuff, but the ATF system will automatically reject these images because it cannot read. It cannot read from the left to right because this is a separated or section. This can be your CV, but this shouldn't be your resume that you submit for a job because the ATS system will have to extract the data. I don't know, most of us that use iPhone, you can basically take a picture of a written document and and then copy it. I hope you get it. You get it. Anyone here using an iPhone that has experienced that thing before? Are you here?
Yes, sir, we are here.
I mean, when you use your iPhone to take a picture of a scanned document, and then you use your hand to copy the words, and then you copy into a Word document and other stuff. Has anybody experienced something like that before?
Of course, we have.
Please, Mr. Listowel, you muted yourself. We can't hear you. Mr.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Great. So, just like I was saying, the ATF system, it actually extracts the data from your PDF or your Word document, and then it's analyze it. So if it's not readable, or if it's in a format that cannot be extracted, whatever it is, your application or your CV is going to be rejected. So we should need to stick with the standard format. So here are the ideal structure. So the ideal structure should in a way that the ATS system would recognize our CV or our resume. So we should have our name, our phone number, our email, any digital link you have, whether LinkedIn or a website link, anywhere you're showcasing your work, you could put the link at the address bar. You could also basically put your address there, but not your full physical location address. Maybe Obuasi, Ashanti. Just don't write your home address, but write, some where you are, a generic address, but just don't write your home address. And then, as I said earlier, your professional summary. It should be 3 or 4 line pinching who you are and what value you bring, what you are going to give. We are going to go through this one after the other, but for now, I'm going to just brush through so that you understand where you are going. And then your core competence, the skills that you have, which is your hard skill and your soft skills, teamwork, teamwork, public speaking, uh, languages, collaboration, and that stuff. Those are your soft skills. Your hard skills could be technical skills like your data analytics, Microsoft Excel. These kinds, we should know them. And then your professional experience, the job you've done through your lifetime. I mean, or those that relate to the resume, to the job that you are applying for. Those are supposed to be in your resume in chronological order, which is the newest first. And then you should also have your university degree, class, and relevant certification. It is not necessity that you put your class on there, but if you feel that it is going to boost your chance that you could get the job, you should put your class there. Most especially when we put class there when you're applying for scholarship or study abroad programs and other stuff. But here in Ghana, probably if you are applying for a job, you could choose to avoid the class. But you should put your university. So first of all, it should come in order. The program you read, BSc, MSc, whatever it is, and then the school and the year you completed. Probably the location, which is not compulsory. You could avoid putting the location of the university there. And then certification. certification is where you could showcase them that aside your university degree, and then maybe you did a bachelor's degree in human resource management, a bachelor's degree in this. What other qualification or certification do you have? And did you read any, have you ever joined any program that you could get certificates, webinar certification, anything that gives certification, like an NASPA Institute. You could also join Coursera, Allison. Those are all programs out there in the internet that could give you certification to, expand your knowledge on your CV. You can also tell them that. So, and then also the last one should be your reference. At least that your reference or your referees, it should be at least two of them. Don't just add one referee. Those people should be very important. You should be contactable. You should talk to them before you put the information in your CV, because the worst case scenario, you want to avoid the person being surprised when an employer calls. Let me say that. Okay, this will also apply for a job. Can you tell me about it? About him. He said he used to work here. Your reference or your fee should know more about you. He should know more about you, not some generic one. So here are 6 sessions to include in your CV. So just like we said, we were talking about earlier, we are going to go through each one after the other. Section 1 is the header, which is personal details. So you should include your name. So I am called Listowel Owusu. I include at the top of my CV. And then your phone number should be also be there on the personal details, under the personal details. And then, these professional voicemail, well, most Ghanaians don't use that. Frequently, it has become very popular here in Ghana. I don't know. Sometimes you call somebody and doesn't pick, and then this machine pick up. This assistant, leave a message and I'll call you back. I hope you've heard it before, right?
Yes, voicemail.
Yes, voicemail. People, I don't know. Sometimes leave funny voicemails on their phone. So we should try to avoid funny voicemail. We should make our voicemail very professional. I mean, in a time that you could use your funny voicemail for your friends, but in a time when you have actually applied for a job, or yes, a job or a scholarship or whatever that you think they may call you for an interview, avoid funny voicemails. It is better even to avoid voicemail at all. Yes. And then you should also include your email. You should include your email. Just like I said earlier, avoid nickname emails. Use your real name. Avoid killer at 024, cool guy, this, blah, 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 blah. Just avoid them. Use your real name or anything appropriate. Something that sounds genuine, decent. Avoid, yeah. So that you could actually get the job and understand. So the link, and then another section you should include at your personal details is your portfolio link or your LinkedIn in profile. You see, just like you said, your CV sleeps, but your LinkedIn profile it never sleeps. It's online 24/7. Your LinkedIn profile is online 24/7. Your portfolio or your CV or your resume could be in your phone or your laptop, wherever it is, but your LinkedIn profile is always online. So whenever you submit your resume to an employer, the HR takes your after going through the ATS system the ATS system actually approve your resume and it gets to a real human. They sometimes would like to check your LinkedIn profile to see that you are doing well, some volunteering job that you are doing, whatever you are doing. You should put your LinkedIn profile there, and your LinkedIn profile should be professional. Just don't leave any generic link profile for them to see. You just need to avoid any mismatch that could actually disqualify you from the job. And then again, you should put your location, but just like I said earlier, don't put your full address. I mean, your exact home address. Sometimes you should even avoid putting your GPS address on there. You could, maybe you stay in Obuasi Bongobri or Obuasi Konka Junction. You could just write Obuasi Konka Junction and probably add Ghana. Roughly, you could take Ghana out because you are in Ghana, you're applying in Ghana. So except if you are applying internationally, that is where you could say Obuasi let's say Bongobri, Obuasi, Ghana. But if you are applying a job within the Obuasi community, you basically, or Ghana community, you basically have to avoid adding Ghana. You all know it's Ghana. You just want the CV to be optimized in a way that it will be more than 3 pages. And then your professional summary. Just like I said, 3 or 4 lines, pitching who you are and the value you bring. This section is very important. Avoid grammatical errors or punctuation errors. If you're coming to my place and I'm the HR, and then you submit your CV, and then I see that there's these grammatical errors or punctuation errors in the professional summary, I may think that profile alone is telling me the professional summary, but whatever you wrote there is not professionally written. We should avoid it. Just like I said, you shouldn't use ChatGPT solely to write it. I'm not telling you don't use ChatGPT. Just like I said, AI is here to enhance work. They are not here to take our work. They are here to make work easier. You could give the prompts, write about you in your own English, how you could write it, and then the AI will grammatically written it correctly, take all errors. You could just copy that and then place it in your CV. Basically, it is not going to be generic because you already gave it the command or you gave it the prompt to do it. Yes. So an example is I add an example in my in my what do they call it? In my profile that I said 1 minute. So sorry for that. Example is a highly motivated and chronologically aware professional with a proven track record of collaboration, problem solving, and selfless teamwork in a fast-paced environment. So here you tell them what you can do, who you are, and the qualities that you bring to the job role you are applying. Just don't write anything generic. Make sure that whatever you wrote at your professional summary matches the job description. I don't know if I could share my screen with you too. Cheers. Maybe I could share another screen. Yeah. Let's see. I'll share. I'm going to share. Are you here? I'm going to share a screen with you from test. Can you all see my screen?
No.
Oh, let me see if I could share another screen with you. This is my Chrome. Can you see now?
It's loading. Yes.
Where is it? Can you see?
No,
No.
No,
please.
it's no.
No, this is my screen. Where is it? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
So this is a
Yes.
job. This is a job website called TS.com. I mean, if you want to find jobs outside to work, you could go to this website, TS.com, to find jobs. So I made an example here. This is head of resident and resident nurse. You see, the job have an overview, the things they are looking for. They say maintain a consistency, high profile, daily present within the hostel to foster trust and support. Mandatory on site. So these are the skills. Just I hope you all can see me. Exact system overrides, They have supervision, accountability, monitor daily routine, including meal attendance, study sections, social interaction, contact regular support, student roll scores, and then rule checks to maintain accountability for student whereabouts at all time. They also monitor control. They have clinical nurse healthcare. So whatever it is that you are applying for, it should match the description they wrote here. So this is the job overview. This is what actually the person they are looking for. So your skills need to match any of these so that you could qualify for the job. If your skill doesn't match any of the job description they wrote here, I'm not sure I'm going to get it. You could find different other jobs here. Um, this is test. Let's say, where is the other? So this is the test system that you could actually look for job from. But we are going to actually get here earlier as we go through. Um, Let me start projecting my slides back on. The slides is here. Yeah. So just like I was saying, your CV need to match the job description that you are looking for. The CV need to match the job description that you are looking for. And then so we are going to go through the next section, which is the professional experience, the reverse chronological order. So let's assume that before you are going to apply for your next job, you probably had been working before. And then avoid this kind of error. With some people writing the CV without no job experience. I mean, nobody is going to employ you. I understand that you need, people say they need 20 years experience to be able to qualify for this job and other stuff. But if you avoid, and then you could say, okay, fine, I'm a fresh graduate, haven't actually had any work, a real life work before. So I could basically avoid, adding a professional job experience there because I haven't worked before. No, don't do that. I mean, you all went to school. We did is it internship, practicum, and other stuff, off campus and other stuff. You could those are also type of your job experience you could write there during your internship section. Whatever you did, the job role their internship, they're unpaid. Most you could add them. Yes, volunteer job that you've done, you could add them. It's not particularly the job that you are being paid for. That is when you are supposed to add it. So we should make sure of that. And then, so first is the job title. So let's say the job title, Ashanti Gold. And Ashanti, let's say you are applying for a job previously where you used to work. Let's say you used to work at an Ashanti Gold mining company in Obuasi. You could just say the job title. You worked as a mining engineer or a truck driver. Let's say a truck driver. Yes, you used to be a truck driver at Ashanti Gold. So you first pass write the truck driver role at the top of that section, which is the professional section. And then you come to the next line, you write the company name and where it is located. So Ashanti Gold or AGA Gold of Wase, then you add that. And then the date that you started the work, and then the date where it ended. And here, the next section is very important. You have to add action words. Avoid passive words. Rather, we should add action words. Maybe when you went there, when you went to Ashanti Gold, where you were a truck driver, you was able to implement something, you achieved something, you brought something on board and other stuff. You need to sell yourself to an employer that you by yourself, you could also by yourself and in a company where you were working for that you are not CEO, you don't own the company, you actually brought something up that could actually benefit the company in the longer run. It means you're a very good employee, and then in the future, when whoever employ you, you could help hand uh, assume make the job very professional. So we should use words like I achieved, I led, I did this, I brought up this, So I achieved 13% increase in sales for new production. I led the team in implementing new programs, in educating new resources. Those are action words that employees look for, other than using action words or any other kind of words. So you could say you achieved, you led, you implemented, and all those kind of words that require you to be. And then the next section is where you put your university, the education section. You should bring your university degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, your graduate certificate, your diploma, WASI, whatever degree you have. You need to list that first. So let's say I have a graduate certificate in information security. That should be done. And that education section. Yes, I have a graduate certificate in information security. You could, just like I said earlier, you could avoid adding class, but it is important to add class if you are applying for scholarship abroad, or if you are applying for any other thing that is internationally recognized, not basically in your locality in Ghana. And then you should also include the day you started your education or your degree started, and the day that you were handed your degree. Yes, and then that is all. The next section here, you could also add core skills, just like I opened test for you. There are job description. The job description, that job description should match your skills. So if the job description is asking for student started, if you are applying for a teaching role and they are saying, okay, they are looking for a teacher who is brainstorming, a teacher who is student centered, a teacher who involved the whole class, a teacher who's teamwork, your CV or your resume should have those skills as well. So that because the applicant tracking system is going to match your CV with the job description. If your CV or your resume doesn't match with the job description, it is actually going to toss out. So you should make sure it's matched. But just like I said, in a term or as we are implementing or making it match, it doesn't mean we should lie on our CV. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you can actually do it, just add it. That is it. But if you don't know and you think you can learn before they call you for the interview, it is advisable that you add that skills and learn. Man, most people add, okay, I'm good. This soft skill. No, it's rather a hard skill, which is technical skill. Excel. Everybody I've seen their CV include that I know how to, analyze Excel. I know how to use Excel and other. But most of us here, we don't know how to use Excel. We cannot even evaluate one Excel calculation. Most of us don't know. But we still included that, okay, we can I can use Excel, I can use to analyze data, I can use spreadsheet and other stuff. If you don't know, you don't know. But but these things you should know them. It's basically it doesn't matter the degree you did or whatever you learn, whether it will cost Excel or not. They are basic Excel, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, slides, Word documents, the internet and stuff. These are basic documents, basic knowledge everybody should have. They are basic IT skills, If you don't know it, I think you should learn them from either Coursera or Allison, wherever. I mean, you can let a friend teach you other stuff. However you want to learn it, you should learn it. So you can list your skills there, your hard skills, which are the hard skills are mostly those technical skills, basically related to computer and then this software stuff, which is data analytics, SEO, SPSS, Excel, PowerPoint, and that stuff. And then you should also use soft skills like leadership, teamwork, collaboration, conflict resolution, public speaking. Those are soft skills. Soft skills. You should include them there in your core skills or competence. And then now you should include your certification and awards. Your certification and awards. So yes, you can have your degree here and there. You should actually try to have a certification from one or two companies or those that are recognized internationally. Like ASPA Institute. I know that one, our president here can testify to that. Yeah, I think he already had ASPA Institute. There are other platform there too that you could also explore, like Coursera. Coursera have a lot of courses that you can actually get it for free. And then Allison too. And then this new government initiative called 1 Million Coders Dream. I hope you all have heard it before. 1 Million Coders Dream. All right. Are we here?
Yes, we are
Yes,
here.
sir.
Yes, so we could also use that platform, the 1 Million Coders Dream. Basically, I understand that that program is being run by the government and it is being produced from the Coursera environment, which is okay. It's fine. I mean, you are not paying for Coursera sometimes can be a lot costly. I mean, unless you have strategies that you could use to have them for free. I mean, I could share those strategies later, but maybe not in this section. But since we do not have the means to pay for a Coursera certificate, the government is trying to make it free. So you could just join the 1 million coders dream. It doesn't matter which political party you join. There are skills that we are going to learn. So we could put all that aside and just learn them. So first we need to, so example is if you have an Aspire leadership program or maybe a certification from Coursera, maybe University of Illinois or California University. You can find all those universities at Coursera or Allison, and then you put the program there, maybe data analytics or Aspire leadership program. That should come first under certification, and then the issuing organization. For example, it's either Aspire Institute, whether UCC, Common University of Science Technologies, whatever organization that awarded you that short course certification, you could get it. You should write their name there and the date that you end. You should avoid adding date where you started from because these certifications are usually short term. Sometimes it doesn't even exceed 6 months. Some of them exceed should maximum within 4 months to 6 months or so. Yes, so some can even go a month or two, some weeks and other stuff. So you could just avoid making the full day. You could just write in there that you completed the certification in April. It's not only that Coursera and other stuff. If you had any position, you could write it there. Maybe you are the head president of Obuasi National Service Personnel. You write it there, and then you write the issuing a certificate, issuing organization, which is a National Service Authority, and the date when you ended or you end that certificate. So these are the 6 sessions that we need to make sure that they are in our CV. I hope you all get that.
Yes, sir.
Great. So the only question, one CV or many? This I've already explained. One CV or many. So just like I said earlier, we should have one giant CV that contains everything that we do, all the degrees that we've obtained, all the certification that we have, all the job experience that we did, everything, absolutely everything that we have, or the reference. If you have 10 references, nobody cares. You could add them to your CV. After all, you're not sending your CV to anyone. It is your resume that you are sending to your employer. So you could add 10 referees. I mean, 10, 20 referees. And then in a time where you are supposed to submit an application to an employer, you take that CV and then you take the essence things from it. So you take the job description, like I showed you earlier, from it, and then you have to make sure that whatever you are taking from your CV to match to create a resume for that job description matches. So let's say the job description is looking for somebody who is collaborative, someone who is teamwork, someone who is a leader. You take those things from your CV and then create another resume or a mini CV. Let me put a mini CV that has those qualifications. Let's say you have a degree in nursing, you also have a degree in teaching or other stuff, whatever it is. You could just avoid, and let's say the job description is asking for a nursing role in a hospital. Yes, you can just avoid your teaching certificate and then just include only your nursing degree there. I hope you all get me. So just like I was explaining earlier, create a master CV. This is a massive document that has every bullet point for every job you've ever done. You never send this to anyone. When you find a job, duplicate the master CV, delete everything that doesn't match the job description, and save it at either a one single or two single target resume. And that way you are going to. Here, these are what you achieve. Avoid using generic words. Use, okay, I achieved 70% of this. When I was teaching, I was able to help 70% of the students from average to become excellent students. There you put in mathematical calculation, mathematical numbers. ATS system are friendly with those things, other than just writing a generic options there about. And then avoid using progression bars or graphical progression bars. It is better we write them in words other than to illustrate them in that progression bars. So format get your CV readable keywords and achievement help it complete. So with this, I hope you all get the CV and how it is good. If you have questions, we could take them now and our sister Vida could read them out. And there's, okay, some people actually posted them, some few questions on the chat board and our sister Vida can read them out and then we all get it and then we go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Owusu.
My pleasure.
Okay.
So somebody asked a question on the platform. It says, can you? Okay.
Yeah, so someone is saying, so please, does it mean we can install the ATS application system so it can review our CV before we submit it?
Yeah, but for the ATF system, the application tracking system, it's mainly programmed or designed for big companies. It costs. I mean, if you have the money, fine. I could share the link with you. You could try to buy it and other stuff, but it is very costly. But you could actually, after writing your CV, to avoid buying that costly ATF system to, analyze your CV for you before you send it to the employer. You could actually use AI. Just like I said, AI is here to help. It's not here to take our job. You could write a CV, send it to maybe Gemini, ChatGPT, Cloud, any other AI that you know that you think is good, but I prefer use Gemini or Cloud, and then ask it that it's your CV ATS friendly. If it's not ATS friendly, it will point it out. And then it will tell you here and here is not ATF friendly. You should adjust it to this and this. I hope you get it. But if you have the money to buy the ATS application, fine. You could go ahead and buy it. But to avoid that, just use artificial intelligence so that it can actually tell you. Is there any other question?
Yes, someone is asking if you could list some of the platforms we can join so we can get certificates after, because the names you mentioned wasn't quite clear.
So yes, you could get certification, right? You could use Coursera. I hope you have Coursera is
Please, the spelling.
I'll put it in the chat now.
All right, all right.
Coursera.
Mm-hmm.
You can use Allison.
Awesome.
Yes. And you can use steady.com, but
Okay.
study.com. But Coursera actually is it's, I don't know, but it is internationally recognized. And then if you let me see if I can share my screen with you for Coursera, uh, so that you can see how Coursera works. Let me see if I can.
Please, you also mentioned one, is it Aspire or something?
ASPA Institute. Currently, their
Mhm.
application is still out. For ASPA Institute, you have to apply. It isn't like Coursera, which is automatic. Coursera, Allison and other stuff. No. But ASPA Institute, you need to apply. Even though you have to apply, whatever it is, you are going to get in. You know, you are going to get in. So it is best that you apply for ASPA. ASPA is recognized and it is being taught by Harvard University. I know for that our president could talk more about it. Our president, if he's here, he could, give us more about ASPI. H.E. Ben, are you here?
Yeah,
Mr.
boss. Thank you very
Mm-hmm.
much.
Oh,
Yeah, ASPA is some sort of leadership program. I think you have it for about 8 weeks or so. It is held by Harvard Business School. So they have a link to their website, aspire.com. You just log on to the website. You check whether the cohort is open for applications and then you put in your application. It's as simple as that. So it is free. You have a couple of modules to learn and some work to do online. After that, you get a free certificate. So that's how it works.
All
Thanks.
right. Then it means you can forward the link to their website to make it easier for us.
Of course, I'll do that.
Thank you.
so just like our president said, ASPI, it's an ongoing platform. Currently, the application are out, I think so, and then it's going to close in a week or two for the next cohort, which is starting around, I think, July or so. So you could actually join it, and you're going to get a certificate. There you could actually meet a lot of people, not from Ghana, from different parts of the world in this cohort, and you could collaborate and join. And at the end of the day or at the end of the weeks, you 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 get your certification. It depends whether you make a very good impression, but it's just don't join and then wait for the certification. Make sure you participate in them. Yeah, Ms. Vida, is there any other question?
Uh, okay. I think there was one here. Oh. Sorry, my screen is worrying me a little. Okay, someone also asked whether you can provide us with the site for international jobs application.
Yes,
During your presentation, you opened the site like that.
yes, we can. You can use test, which is TETES.com. You could actually find international jobs there, teaching roles, nursing jobs. I mean, all over the world, they put it there. You can also use Indeed.com. You can use Indeed.com. Um, you can also use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also a right place to find jobs. You can use LinkedIn. They are right place to find international jobs. When you go there, you have to filter the job market or the job alert by whatever you are looking for. So if you are looking for a teaching role in UK or in US or anywhere ever. You just have to filter them. So let's say I go there, I type teaching roles or counseling roles, IT jobs, maybe in Saudi Arabia, and then I choose the country to be Saudi Arabia. And then the jobs just pop up with the expiring date, their job description and whatever it is we put. You'll find them there. So you can use Test, Indeed, or LinkedIn to find jobs internationally. You can use also Europe jobs. You can use Europe jobs too. All of them you could find jobs there. And then there's also remote. And then those who are looking for remote job, those who want to stay in Ghana and still be paid in um, American dollars or whatever currency it is, you can use the remote.com. Yes. Is there any other question?
No, I think I've read them all.
All right, then. So we move ahead. So just so we are getting back to our slides. So your CV is a marketing document, not a confession. You do not have to, list every major duties you did. Only list achievement that sells the next job. Numbers speak louder than words. So you words like excellence and immense and flat. Numbers, like just what I was saying, use percentages, 40%, 50%, 100%. Those are what is going to get you the job. Let's move on. Now we are moving to the digital world. Looks like most of us are interested in the digital world other than the traditional. So the CV, the general CV that we've been talking about now, the traditional one, the one everybody knows. You should know that you should know that aside the traditional CV, there are other CVs that are internationally recognized. Example are your LinkedIn profile. You can also create your own website that sells you, that talks about you. For that, I could share a link with you, and then you all could see Kojo Sheldon's profile, um, which is it Kojo Sheldon Studio? So I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm going to use Kojo Sheldon's digital profile as an example, but at least that my network is really, really bad. My network is really bad, but if it has could have happened. I don't know, but it's not coming. Even when it come, I will show it to you. But for now, let's focus on modern screen. So this is what I call the modern arsenal. So we are transitioning from the document that we send to our employers to the digital one, the one that lives on, the one that doesn't sleep, the one that is always online. So first, we'll first take our LinkedIn profile. So just like I said, your resume, it sleeps. Your CV, it sleeps, but your resume profile, it's always on. It is always available. So you should, when you're searching for a job, it should be turned on at open to work. And then your LinkedIn profile should be on your CV. Your LinkedIn profile should be on your CV. Example, let me show you an example uh, from my computer is well, example. example, I'm showing a CV from my computer, which is so this is my portfolio. This actually isn't a CV. Can you all see it?
Yes, same.
Exactly. So this is my portfolio. This is specifically was designed for a job in either media or IT services. I needed to tell them that this is what I can do. This is what I do. It's not about it's not about my qualification, the degree I have. This is me expressing the real life that I'm doing, what I can actually achieve, or those that I achieve. You see here, I have my e-portfolio here. It contains a link. I hope you all can see it. All right. Are we here? Hello.
No, it's not opened.
It's not opened.
Yes.
All right, then. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it is not.
Great. So this actually is a resume. This is not a CV. This is just like I name it. It's e-portfolio, electronic portfolio slash CV. I mean, this is not my general CV. I could show you my general CV too, but this is my e-portfolio. This is targeted for only online jobs, IT jobs, anything online, anything about the media. This CV is targeted for. So here I have this link, which links to my own website. That when I click on it, it will view my own website. There's this email. I didn't just write my email. You see, it is written email and highlighted in blue, right? I hope you all can see it.
Yes.
But when I click on that, it is going to open a page that tells me to send an email, and then my email will show. So this is how the e-portfolio looks like. So just like it is, it has opened my email. And there's this too. There was also my Instagram link, my YouTube page, my LinkedIn tree, my research guide, which is very important in this digital world. If you are looking for scholarship and other stuff internationally, you should make sure that you write at least one or two research. So here is it says my research guide. When I click on it, it's going to open my page, but I have to go through this security check because of my system. I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes.
So yes, this is my research gates. Aside LinkedIn, there are also research gates too. So you could also have an account like this and include it in your resume. So back to my resume, I have this, my Delos workspace. The Delofy Technologies, it is registered under Company and Registered Authority of Ghana as Delos workspace. I have my LinkedIn, my Linktree, my LinkedIn, and my WhatsApp. And this is my digital profile, just like I was talking about. I'm a certified digital strategist, creative and data-driven social media marketing and managing specialist, an experienced web and graphic design with a strong background in content creation, brand growth, digital tools, and with passion for creating engaging digital content. So here you can write, your professional summary as I was saying earlier. And these are the numbers I was talking about. You just don't write generic. So just like I said I gained 23,000 followers uh, organically through content scheduling, reels, and emerging strategies. Average engagement rate is 6.5%. I also told them that I also have my 5,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on YouTube alone. And then I can also use Adobe Premiere Cuts and CapCut. Now, back in the days when I was a teacher in Ghana Senior High School, these are the portfolio that I also created. I have all those linked. You could see that there was a Instagram link and Telegram link, so that whenever the ATS click on it, you could actually find what I did in there. Yeah, these managed. So those words are used, developed. Those are the action words that I was talking about, and my certification, just like I said, the year they completed. And then these are my publications. So I've publicized few papers online. So this includes, so my recent publication is the effects of regulatory structure and hostel standard and student welfare in Ghana. When you click on this link, it is going to open the paper to you that you could actually read it. If you all can see my page, you could see that this is my paper, and then it is co-written by Douglas Mackenzie Podo, who is the regional director in the Ashanti region for the Ministry of Work and Housing. So here is the paper. You see, the paper, I have like 20 pages or 30 pages of this paper, but they are not on my CV. It is that the link that sent me there. I hope you all get it.
Yes.
Yes, and this is a video project that I created for effect of premarital consent on marriage. If you click on this video link, it is going to open a Dropbox link that contains the video that I said I created. So if they want to see, you see, this is a Listowel workspace. If you can see my screen, can you see it?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Yeah, so this is Listowel workspace. This is the project that I created. So this is just to tell myself. It's not like I'm baffling to the employer, but I'm trying to tell him that aside the digital resume that I am giving, I have the traditional one, I have the digital one too. I created and shot this one. Those are all linked to my CV. So those are our digital CV. So we can avoid this, or if later if you want to know more about this, you can contact me later. Let's go ahead back to the portfolio I was showing. And these, you see, I have this event coverage and highlight. These are another links that relate to what I did. This is just like this is a portfolio about me. It is telling me to either an IT company, an IT job, virtual job, whatever it is that I may apply in the future, that this is what I can do. So I have this street vibes, debate, award nights. I can just click on this and it will open me to another whole link. All my videos or my links are linked to Dropbox. You could use Google link or Google, is it Google Photos or something like that. You could also use you can also use Dropbox, iCloud, and that stuff. But I use Dropbox. So these were short and edited by me. So you can go back, and then this is award nines and other stuff. This is my e-portfolio website. This is my website, delofy.com. I also have another website, delofy.com, and another stuff. And then I have here my, I'm open to work. So this is basically my e-portfolio. And I can share another link with you. The screen sharing has stopped. I can also share another. So where is it? I'm sharing my screen again. So this is my standard CV. The other one is an e-portfolio. This is my standard CV. You can have my number here. You all can see that the number is highlighted in blue, right?
Yes.
Great. If if I was viewing this CV or this resume on a mobile phone, this is highlighted in blue. When the employer wants to call me, you just have to click on it. He doesn't have to go back to his phone and then try to say 0246. Then you type 024631. No, just click on it and then it automatically die on his phone for the person. Or better still, also contact him through WhatsApp. I hope you get it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and then same as my email.
Yes, sir.
If somebody asks me a question, just like my email too, the employer can just click on my email like this, and it will take him to email to just send me an email or whatever it is. And then this is my LinkedIn profile. He can just click on the LinkedIn, and then a link's open to my LinkedIn profile. And then you can also use same as my research gates. Here you could find the research papers that I have wrote and other stuff. So now let's get back to our slides. Where are we? Hope you all get it. If you have questions, you can ask. My slides here. So just like I was saying earlier, your LinkedIn profile should be optimized. It should be open to work if only you're looking for a job and other stuff, so that recruiters can see that yes, you're actually looking for a job. Your headlines, your LinkedIn profile should have a headline. You mean these things we could actually have a section on how to create a LinkedIn profile and how to optimize it later so that it become a standard, not a generic LinkedIn profile. Yes, so you should put whatever you're doing currently there. If you're a data analyst, your NSS at this company, that company, you write it there, and then what you do there. You can also, just like I said earlier, you can create your own website, add your own portfolio, show people. Let me see if the site had actually opened. So I was saying you can also create um your own website or profile. You can use grapher.com. You don't have to go and buy domain to create your own profile. You can use Google to create your own profile, and then it will give you. You can use WordPress to create your own digital profile that has everything your CV has, and then you have to create that link, put that link in your CV so that they put your ATFS system or your hiring manager could actually see them and see. There, in your digital profile, you can include pictures, you can include videos, whatever it is, because there you have passed through the ATF system with your CV or your resume, and then now it is the hiring manager to make a decision, and then you have to convince the hiring manager that aside the traditional way of writing, I completed 60% of this, I did 20% of, I did 100% of this. What is this showing for? What can you show for? You include those links in your CV so that your hiring manager can just click on the link and view them. So just like I was saying, you can have those sections on your CV. And then you can also have digital credentials, like I was saying earlier, Coursera and that stuff. Coursera, you can have your Coursera certificate linked to your CV or your resume. You can have your Aspire Institute linked to your CV. I can show you one. Let me see if I can show you one from here. Um, hmm, yeah, let's look at it. I'm sharing on that screen with you from here. Yeah. So this is a certification I gained in September 2024 to May 2025. I say Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate version 2. It is 12 credit hours. So you see there's a link here. I hope you all can see it, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can just typically include this link. When I click this on this link, it will open a page that shows that yes, I completed that. It says that I said this badge was issued to Listowel Owusu. Date issued is May 28, 2025. And it talks about the course, the program that I completed. It was issued by Coursera, but Coursera issued this through credibly.com, which is recognized internationally. So you could put those link. Those are your digital link. I also have another one. This is specialization certificate in project management and planning, which is from John Hopkins University. You click on this link, the certificate will show for you to see that yes, I indeed completed. It said completed. This is the official link from Coursera, as I shared earlier. It said completed by Listowel May 25th, 2025. It says I used 3 months and 5 hours to complete this work. So Listowel account is verified, which every employer will see. The certificate is here. I hope you all can see. Issued to Listowel here. I hope you all can see it.
Yes, sir.
So any employer or the other certification that I have that I can share, but we don't have more time, so I can go back to my slides. So these are all the digital tools that we need to know. So, and then aside that, you also need to have your own portfolio. I have a portfolio. I can share the portfolio with you. I'm going to open my portfolio. Where's my portfolio? So that you can see how it works. Let me see the recent email that I have sent. Mm, taking longer time to load. Mhm. Can you see my screen? Are you here?
It's still the slide?
No. Oh, let me try and change it. All right, so I'll share my screen with you here. What? Oh, it's here rather. Yes. So this is my digital profile. You don't basically have to go and buy a domain. You can use this gravata.com. Then you add your own unique link to it. So I can share this link to you on the platform so that you could actually create your own profile on the website that you could share with your potential employers and other stuff. So here it talks about my skills. My picture is here. I have my background status, my skills and other stuff. What I do currently, what I'm a founder, and all those things there. My portfolio, what I do, my verified accounts, my LinkedIn, TikTok, Telegram, Facebook, YouTube, and other stuff. So I could share the link with you in the chat button so that later you could create a page like that. So that is what I mean, creating your own profile or your own profile website to share with your employers so that they could know that about it's not just about words, but actually you have what it takes. You know what you are doing. So just like I said earlier, these are all what I explained earlier. And then, so these are the employer skills demand currently on the market. AI, machine learning. You could find all these courses at Coursera, Allison, or any other, or study.com, any other So Coursera, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and digital literacy and other stuff. So and technology is just the vehicle, your hard work, your continuous learning, and your willingness to serve are what will actually drive your career forward. If you have any question, this is the end of the session for me. I would give the session back to Ms. Vida. And then if there are any other questions, we can take them through.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Owusu.
Okay.
I think if there are any questions, let us hear you. If you want to speak, you can unmute your microphone and speak. If you also want to text, you can do so in the chat box so that we address your questions and we'll be wrapping up the webinar. Okay, so I take the silence as a consent to carry on. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And we appreciate our speaker, Mr. Listowel Owusu, for your time and insight. In fact, we've learned a lot, so much today. And I know that some of us will be contacting you individually or on a personal level to know more, especially with the digital CV or the portfolios and profile you are talking about. So we are grateful for your time and then your efforts. And to every participant who joined, thank you so much for joining. And we believe you have learned a lot and can also share to other personnel who wanted to but couldn't join. And then our NASPA executives, we thank you so much for putting up this program together. We appreciate you all. So at this juncture, if there is anything you want to put across, you are free to do so. If there is nothing like that, we take our final words from our speaker and then we also take the closing prayer, then we dismiss. Okay, Mr. Owusu.
Yeah, Ms. Vida.
All right. I think everything is cool with everybody. So let's take your final words.
Yo, well, my final was just like I said earlier. One major mistake or whatever it is that we should make sure that our CV and our resume is different. We have one giant CV and a different resume for every particular job we use. We shouldn't use a generic CV or a generic resume for every job we apply for. No, we shouldn't do that. So we should make sure that whatever we are applying for, the job that we are applying for matches the resume that we are submitting. And then make sure that you create every time that you apply for a job, make sure you create a new resume that matches that job. That will actually get you the job rather than providing a generic CV. Just like I always say, technology is just a vehicle. Your hard work, your continuous learning, and your willingness to serve are what will actually drive or dive your career forward. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. President.
Hello, welcome.
Please, is there anything you want to put across?
Oh, you said it all yourself and our speaker. We truly appreciate the insight shared, are mostly appreciated, and you've really impacted our lives with this seminar. And once again, I would like to also announce our upcoming program this Saturday, the NASPA tournament. I think we scheduled our publicity for tomorrow. So tomorrow you'll be seeing the flyers in the various groups. The last time we held the tournament, that was the 1.0. It was only for the boys. But this time around, my vice president and my welcome are ensuring inclusivity by adding aerobics for the girls. So this Saturday, please, as you are coming to do the aerobics, you'll be cheering your boys to play the football as well. So let's do our possible best. Tell a friend to tell another friend that this Saturday, NASPA is having our second tournament at OST Park, and I'm hoping to see you all there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So this is the end. And again, thank you all. Is there anyone who will again like to volunteer to give us the closing prayer? Miss Anne.
Hello.
Yes. Please bless
Please
us to
hear me. Our closing prayer.
Yes.
Okay. Please, we are praying. Father Lord, we thank you for a successful program. We started in your name and we are ending in your name. We say we thank you and we acknowledge your presence. What we've learned, let us use it in our daily activities. This is what we pray in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Bye-bye to everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Charlie, menu come on.